Hello and welcome to the Wardenberg Family Farm with Don and Brenda. Today's a kitchen day.
Yes, it is. In a previous video, I mentioned I like my blackberry syrup, and a couple of you asked how I make it. So today I'm going to show you how I make my blackberry syrup. Well, before I start in on the syrup, I have to show you the coolest thing. In case you haven't seen these, they fit ball jars, all the regular mouth jars. Perfect for syrup. Pop it, pour it, back in the fridge. It really helped me because it was hard pouring the syrup right out of the jar. So, cool thing.
Not a sponsored video though, right?
No, I just think they're really cool. So the first thing is to get my berries in the pot to start cooking. Today we have 23 pounds of blackberries. And we do the same thing with blackberries that we do with strawberries. We put the best ones out at the farm stand, and then I freeze the rest, what we don't eat. And whatever doesn't sell at the farm stand, I also put in the freezer. So we accumulate a good bit of berries. So this isn't even all that we have right now, and we're only halfway through the season. So 23 pounds today, hope to turn into syrup. I'm excited. Some of these are still a little bit frozen, but they'll thaw out. What I want to do right now is just get them hot, because it's easier to get the seeds and stuff out of the hot berries than cold berries. And I'm going to experiment today. Other times I've used the hand sieve thing to squish the stuff and get the seeds out. Yesterday I was watching a video and I realized I can use my Johnny applesauce maker. I have a berry thing that's supposed to work, so I'm hoping that works because that would save me a lot of time and effort.
So, remind me again the difference between blackberries and black raspberries and like the seed size.
Well, the seed size in black raspberries is smaller. Blackberries are pretty big seeds. They're big berries and big seeds. So when I make jam, I don't mind the seeds in the raspberries. They're a little bit smaller, but blackberry jam, I'm not big on those black seeds.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now I just have to get the berries heated up and simmering a little bit. That's going to take a while.
Now, looking at these, when we pick these, I see some on the screen that are looking a little lighter colored. They're supposed to be mostly black. But
well, mostly, but for jams and syrup, it actually can be good if you have a little bit of purple ones in there.
okay. Has a little more zing?
I don't know, it's supposed to improve the flavor. At least that's what they say.
Okay. But for eating, the total black.
Oh, the total black ones are the sweetest, tenderest. Yeah, they're the best.
Okay.
They're the ones that when we're picking and you find them, you eat them.
Yeah, well, they get soft.
Yeah, sometimes they're too soft to actually put in a package because they would get smushed. But they're the best just to eat right off the vine.
You don't see that many in stores because they are perishable.
Yeah, pretty quick. You see red raspberries, but they're perishable too, but they're pretty salty.
Yeah, expensive.
Yeah, not salty, but salty. So now it's just wait for this to get hot.
So how long does that take?
It'll take a while since some of them are frozen.
Okay.
See you in a little bit.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
So what do you have going over here?
Those are pickles. They're pickles that take 14 days. They're a sweet pickle that are just heavenly. They're down there soaking under the pickle brine.
Okay.
And today is actually day 14, so I'll be canning those after I finish the syrup.
Nice.
And these things are wonderful. They may not be as attractive as old-fashioned antique crocks, but they're wonderful e-gen, like fermenting things. Love it. Cool. Gadgets really help make this easier.
And I see you've got a new KitchenAid here.
The induction burner. It does help because when you have a couple different pots on the stove, there's nowhere to put the canning stuff. So
yeah,
keeps all the canning over here. Cooking's on the stove, canning's over here.
I know that you said in your dreams you'd love to have a canning kitchen.
Yeah.
And then this was my way around not having to have another kitchen.
You're not going to get out of it that easy.
We just plug in another burner. That works great too, doesn't it?
It does work. It works amazingly. Yeah, it heats it up really fast.
It gives you more space for canning,
Yeah,
so you don't need a canning kitchen.
You said I needed it. I guess you were right. I did need
Yeah,
it.
but you don't need a canning kitchen now.
I do. Okay, it's the moment of truth. We're going to find out if this works for berries. I'm really hoping it does. This could be a very messy proposition. See, the juice comes out right away. There's juice, but then I'm going to grind it to get the seeds and the pulp going through. I love this thing for applesauce. Not totally crazy about it for tomato sauce. Let's see if I like it for berries. Do you see any seeds coming out? I don't see any seeds, but I see some pulp. I might actually put it through twice to make sure I get pulp. Now, do you see any seeds in there? I don't. It's just pulp, not seeds. Okay, I'm happy now. It might forever be purple, but I'm happy. Oh man, this just makes life so much easier. Johnny Applesauce, thank you.
So that's the last of it?
That's the last of it. We're gonna have a lot of blackberry syrup. Holy cow. This is so much nicer than that handheld thing. This just made my day. It makes my life, anything makes my life easier. I'm thrilled about this. Would be right up there. Happy Brenda.
Okay, one pass.
Yes, and it only took about 10, maybe 15 minutes putting it through this. This is the alternative I used to do before. Put the berries in, a bunch of berries, squish, 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 pound, 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 squish, squish, squish. It took forever because you can only do it a little bit at a time. So,
Then you have to clean it out.
oh yeah, but that, well, I'm gonna have to clean, well, somebody's gonna have to clean this out.
Yeah, I know who that is.
He's my assistant.
Yeah.
But that saved an immense amount of time.
Okay, so
And
what do
it
we
did a
have
great
now?
job. We have all this
Outcome.
juice and pulp that's going to turn into syrup. We have the pulp and the seeds, and I'm actually going to run that through again to get more pulp out of it, and I can use that if I make blackberry jam tomorrow for extra pulp, because there's a lot of good stuff there that I can use. So I'm not wasting anything. But now I get to start turning that into syrup.
Cool. What are we up to now?
Now I need to measure how much juice pulp I have, because then I know how much sugar, lemon juice, and other stuff to add. But first I have to measure this delicious stuff.
What size is that?
That's a 4-cup measuring thing, and I'll get it to about 4 cups. I'm not an exact measurer. So there's 4, 8, wow, 12, 16, 20.
We'll see how high your math goes here.
I'm actually going to stop there because I want to keep them in 2 different pans just so it doesn't scorch on the bottom as easy. So I'm going to keep 20 in this one, and I'll put the rest in the smaller pan. I have my handsome assistant running that pulp through for the second time, the stuff that was left over after the first run. And look at that nice, thick blackberry pulp. I'm going to be making jam tomorrow, and that is going in my jam.
We tested it too. There's no seeds in
There's
that.
no seeds. I can't find a single seed. That is just good blackberry pulp. Oh my gosh. Can you tell how excited I am? This just makes jam making a whole new world for me.
Especially if I
anyway.
do the cranking.
Yeah, he does a pretty good job. Look at that. Okay, keep up the work, handsome. I almost forgot the recipe calls for salt, just a little bit at this phase. It's a 1/4 cup for each batch. That was 5 cups, 5 batches, so it's like
A 1/4 cup? You mean a quarter?
1/4 teaspoon. Look at the recipe in the description to get it right. This makes canning so much easier. My assistant does dishes too.
Okay, so it boiled.
Yeah, it boiled, and then this recipe actually, once it boils for 4 minutes, you take it off the heat and you add a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of butter. So I thought that sounded interesting, so I'm
curious.
trying it. I know. I saw a couple recipes with vanilla and butter, so I thought I'm going to try it, see how it turns out. Now let's just fill the jars up, get the lids on, and can them.
And these are pints?
These are pints. The first 2 batches I'm going to do pints, and then the smaller pan I'm going to do in half pints. But we go through syrup pretty fast, so I figure pints are probably better for us.
Okay, so the consistency looks pretty fluid now. It'll thicken up just a little bit.
Well, yeah,
with
because
the
it's
pectin?
hot. When it cools, it'll be a little bit thicker.
Okay.
It's very hot right now.
So when are we going to test them?
How about I make waffles for breakfast tomorrow
Awesome.
with blackberry syrup?
Can't wait.
Me either. So now I'm putting the lids on and putting them in the canner. I'm going to put 8 in this first batch. You can actually get 9, but the middle one always kind of wobbles, so I'm only doing 8.
So this is just water bath canner.
Yep, water bath. All jams you can do, just water bath. Jams and syrups. That's 5. The thing won't stay up. And I actually wipe the rims with vinegar, just to make sure they're squeaky clean, so the lids will seal.
You have a pretty good track record with that?
Yeah, pretty good. Once in a while I have a fail, but for the most part, they usually seal.
And if you have a fail, that means we just have to eat that one.
Yeah, or somebody does. Somebody has to eat it pretty fast, in a couple weeks, which I don't think we'd have any problem with. This is the first batch of canning done, and they're starting to pop already as soon as I take them out. See?
Yep.
They're popping. Canners love that sound.
Music to your ear.
Yep, it is. And now I'll jar up the next batch and get them canning, and then get the third batch in.
Keep stirring that one.
Yep. That's the small pot now cooking. Well, that was productive. I wound up with 10 pints and 11 half pints of delicious, hopefully delicious, blackberry syrup. We're going to give it a try in the morning on our sourdough waffles.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So now I have 3 more bags of blackberries thawing out for the jam tomorrow to use up the pulp that I had left over from these. So we're going to be a blackberry household tomorrow.
Awesome. And what else is like, oh, I see your,
My dish man did most of my dishes. And also this afternoon I still have to can these pickles yet. So our house is going to smell like blackberry jam and pickles. Never a dull moment on the farm.
wow, it's a beautiful morning, isn't it?
It is perfect. And now comes the moment of truth to see if we like all that syrup that we made. I hope it's
Looks
good.
great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Ready? Drum roll.
I got a big piece. There we go.
Okay.
Mmm. Boy, that's flavorful.
Thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Thank goodness. After all that work, you really hope you like it.
And how many jars? You have like 20 jars?
I don't know, a lot. And there's going to be more.
Good.
So I'd say it was a success.
Definitely.
Worth all the work.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Wardenberg Family Farm.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.